Okay, so we're back today for the next part of the CapCut tutorial. Technically, by now, you should have all your images generated and your sounds generated. As for me, in this video, I have neither one nor the other. I'm just going to show you some techniques to try to improve your short film and then do your final edit. But it's really up to you to add your videos and your sounds and to adapt the tutorial to your preferences and your work. So let's get started. The first thing you should normally do is replace all your still images with your videos. Once you've done that, you'll be able to play your video and see if it makes sense. Once you're satisfied with your entire video, you can start managing your transitions. Sometimes your timing might not be right, so you'll adjust it as we saw before with cuts, etc. And you can even play around like this if you want to change your timeline a bit. But technically, everything should be perfect because you were supposed to have generated videos according to the timing you chose for your animatic. So we'll start by looking at the small transitions. It's super simple. You'll see on your screen here, you have lots of little icons here with tabs. And you see one? One of them is transition. So you click on it and then you'll have plenty available. As usual, the ones with the little diamond here mean that those transitions are paid. That's because you're looking for transitions that are free. You can then go ahead and try them out. To test them, you just click on them and you'll see the transition. To apply it, it's very simple. Let's say we want to use this one, we drag it over to our little transition. Then a small pop-up opens up. You just click OK, and there you go. And now you have your transition. If, for example, you think your transition is too fast, you can increase the duration up to 1 second. Or if you find it's too short or too long, you can make it shorter. That's really up to you. And then you can choose any transition you want. If in the end you want a different one, you can change it. Here I put another one. There you go. You really do whatever you want. It's your choice. Personally, I think that putting transitions on every cut between clips is way too much information. It's visually heavy, and I think it's good to use transitions, for example, to show that time has passed. But here you add a transition, you suddenly change locations. That's when you use a transition, because obviously that means there is the part that isn't shown on screen. But if, for example, it's people talking to each other or just the same action continuing just from different points of view, you don't add a transition, it becomes too much and it's not necessarily pleasant to watch. Then once you've added your transitions, once you've put them all in, what we're going to look at is whether you might need some small effects. For effects, it's the same thing. You can look at, for example, at the beginning, what I like to do, and I think you've seen it in some videos, is to start with a slight blur. And what I simply used here was, let's say, a blur effect. And there you go, that gives me my little transition. I think that's nice for starting out, just doing it calmly. But after that, you have plenty of other options. If you want, for example, at some point, let's say you want to make it look like there are a bunch of paparazzi, you can add all your flashes. And then it's as if you had a bunch of paparazzi taking pictures. You can adapt it however you want. It's really up to you to choose what you need for your film. Same thing, you also have stickers here, so you can go and choose, add, I don't know, if you need to put this sticker, it's still loading. It's your choice. You can make it bigger and it looks like you have a little glitch on your screen. You can choose whatever you want. It's really up to you, depending on your film. I'll say it again, but that's really how it is. Next, the text we saw last time, how to add them. You can obviously change the colors, because here, for example, it's white on white and we don't like that. Now, if we want to make it red, there you go. You can also do little animations here to make your choice. What kind of animation do you want to give your text? Same thing. My computer is acting up today, so it's going to be a bit tricky to show you. But it's not a big deal, because really it's just to quickly show you where to find things, but it's totally up to you to choose. Here, as you saw, I increased the speed, or rather slowed it down, so we could see better. The starting animation. Once your entire video is done, your film is completely finished and you've added all the transitions and all your text and you're happy with it, you can check to see if you want to add any filters. Basically, this will help you manage the color grading. What is color grading? It's all the colors, generally speaking, in your film. In CapCut, it's easy. You have filters that will do it automatically for you. You can just click on them and they'll apply everything more or less the same way. So that's really, personally, I think it's super interesting depending on the look you want to give your film. Then you just have to apply it and extend it. Then afterwards you see all your clips. There you go. We can't see it very well because it's not the best one. But let's say I do it with a black and white filter. You see my whole thing is in black and white. And at least that will make sure all your videos have more or less the same tones. If, for example, you have some that really don't have the same tone, you can go here, click on your little video, and then go to adjustment. And here in adjustment, you have lots of little settings you can play with. So obviously here, these are adjustments that will be paid, but there are some below that are free, and then it's up to you to play around depending on what you want to do. So, well, since I have the black and white effect, you won't see it, but let's say I remove the black and white effect, I go back in, and now I can play with my colors. Here, these are the hues. The saturation, if I want everything to be in black and white, for example, just the video and not the text. Or even afterwards, if I just want it to be a little more exposed, less exposed, the contrast, etc. It's really up to you. You'll choose what you prefer, but everything is here. Then you have other settings here if you want to change just a few colors. These little settings are really more for taking your editing and touch-ups a bit further. It's really up to you to go and experiment. For example, when I started, the only thing I did was watch a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. And in the end, I would just play around with the settings myself on my videos and photos. Because even if I watched tutorials and copied exactly what they did, it didn't give me what I wanted, depending on my visual, my photo, my video. So really, it's just up to you to go and play around and find what you like. And so, same thing, once you've put all that in, technically, you've also added all your little sounds, whether it's your music or your sound effects, which are supposed to be all underneath. Here, I just have the music, but if I add sound effects, they'll be placed underneath. Once you're completely satisfied, you just need to export it like last time, with the same settings, trying to get the highest quality possible. You rename it, you write the name of your short film. I don't know, for example, it's going to be called, since it seemed to be something, a bit of relaxation, we'll call it Yoga Flow. I don't know why I'm going to call it that, but it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to call it Yoga Flow. We remove the spaces and I'm going to write V01 again, because if I ever want to tweak things later, if I come back to it 2 days later, and I look at it and I say to myself, oh wow, there's something that jumps out at me that I hadn't noticed before. I modify it, and then when I export it, boom, I change it. V02, V03, etc. That happens very often, and then I export. And that's pretty much it for CapCut, because I think CapCut is really something you have to experiment with yourself. I've pretty much given you all the little tips that I personally use all the time, but maybe you'll find other ways to use it yourself. You might go a little further, explore settings that I don't necessarily use myself. That's perfect if you do that. Really, it's up to you to explore and try to find what works best for your film. So there you go. I wish you good luck.